Okay, welcome back to another Cycling Tom bike review, and today I have a bike that I've been wanting to review for the longest time. This is the brand new 2020 CERVELO S5, probably the best looking bike on the market at the moment. If you have a bike you'd like to see me review in a future video, be sure to leave a comment down below. So a super common thing that we're seeing on these new 2020 road bikes are just fully integrated systems in like the cockpit and the bars and the stem combo. And I reviewed the 2020 Scott Addict a few weeks ago, and that was fully integrated and it had the disc brakes and it had no cables anywhere, and this CERVELO S5 is very similar to that. So as you can see up front in the cockpit, there's just no cables anywhere. The cables run from the shifter through the bars and then into the stem and then go into the rest of the bike. And another common trend we're seeing on all the 2020 bikes is that they all come with disc brakes. Disc brakes just seem to be getting more and more popular throughout the peloton. Everyone seems to be using them. And I rode the SRAM ETAP hydraulic disc brakes on that Scott foil, and this will be the first time I've used the Dura-Ace version of the hydraulic disc brakes, so I'm keen to give them a bit of a go. So when I first saw CERVELO release the brand new S5 here, I wasn't a huge fan of the integrated bars, and I really didn't like the fact that it goes up on a positive angle, because obviously if you look at all my videos and all my bikes, I either have perfectly flat stems or slightly negative stems to really give it that pro look. And I thought it was really strange that a bike that was meant for pure speed and was meant to be ridden by all the pros had a positive angle stem. But reading more into it, there is a reason behind it, and that is for this little hole here. So CERVELO has specifically designed the bars and stem to be the most aerodynamic this bike has ever been. So basically what they were thinking is that the airflow comes through here and then gets distributed down the frame. And then also because there's no front brake now, it just like the wind flow just goes straight over the bike and it comes through this and kind of creates like a wind tunnel effect. And once you do a little bit of research into it, I think I can almost get over the fact that it is technically a positive stem, and it looks a bit like something you'd see on a 13-year-old's mountain bike. The rest of the S5 is very similar to the previous generation S5s, like the seat tube that follows the wheel all the way up to the seat stays. This is still the same design that CERVELO had on their first generation S5, which was released I think almost 9 to 10 years ago. So clearly there's something about this that is just super aero and they haven't been able to get it any faster. You see this design on basically all of the top time trial bikes, triathlon bikes and everything, and it shows the fact that CERVELO haven't actually changed their design in so many years. It shows that CERVELO were really on the mark when they released that bike almost 9 to 10 years ago. Another thing that this bike is really doing for me is that if you've been watching the channel for a while, you know that I'm not a massive advocate for disc brakes. I think they're good, but I don't think they're worth as much hype as they're given. But I really think this new CERVELO S5 makes the disc brakes look absolutely perfect. I think they've done a really good job. This bike just literally looks futuristic. It looks like it shouldn't be made for another 10 years, and I'm really in love with it. Okay, so now onto the specific components on this bike. This bike is running a full top-of-the-line 11-speed Dura-Ace Di2 group set, all fitted with a quack power meter and the Dura-Ace chain rings on the quack power meter. Steer's running an 11 to 28 here, and a 53 to 39, so the big boy gears on the front. And it's fitted with these foil F50 disc wheels and Dura-Ace calipers. It has the full custom CERVELO integrated bar and stem combo and the Di2 hydraulic shifters. A little shout out to Shimano here. So these are the Shimano Di2 hydraulic shifters. So these obviously have to deal with the hydraulic fluid and the cables and stuff as well. But if you look at the Scott Addict I did, that's also a hydraulic disc brake bike. And there's one thing I had the problem with that bike was how big the shifters are, but look, Shimano have been able to make them look almost identical to what they would look like if they were just for rim brakes. And then to top it all off, it's running a Physique Antares saddle. So if you're looking to go and buy one of these bad boys here in 2020, you're looking at around $17,000 to $18,000. So yeah, it's a pretty expensive bike, but it actually looks like it's worth that price. It's pretty futuristic for what it is. And I personally think that CERVELO has done a brilliant job on the design of this bike. It just looks beautiful. So now on to the fun part of this video. I'm gonna take this CERVELO S5 out for a bit of a test ride and see how it goes on the road. All right, first ride on the CERVELO S5. I went fairly hard around some corners and the steering is perfect. And usually when you've got that whole integrated system up here, sometimes it kind of locks out. Like on my Cannondale, it kind of locks out and the steering's a little bit iffy sometimes. But yeah, this just flows so perfectly. The bearings are mean, it just feels perfect around the corners, super stiff. I really don't have a bad thing to say about it. So yeah, honestly, if you're looking for a fast race bike and you've got a spare 18 grand sitting in the bank, this is probably the one to get. It's just so good, like you just jump on it and it's just pure speed, it just feels amazing. Yeah, I've been pretty blown away with the S5, I really wish I could afford one. So if any Cervelo reps are watching this, please sponsor me. So yeah, that is going to end today's review video. If you have a bike you would like me to review, like I said before, leave a comment down below, and if you are not subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing, it helps out a lot, and like this video if you haven't already. Cheers for watching.